Hi, and welcome to the Verifone Training Academy. This short video will provide you with an overview on some of the features and functions available to you in the PAYware Connect store portal. PAYware Connect supports multiple payments, as well as functionality. However, most of your payments and daily operations are going to be performed through your point of sale or even your countertop terminal, which would be integrated with PAYware Connect. But for today's demonstration, we're going to be navigating and processing directly through the store portal. So let's go ahead and get started talking about today's objectives. Here are your training objectives. Upon completing this training, you'll be able to process a pre-authorization directly in the store portal. You'll also be able to process a completion for a pre-authorization, and you'll be able to enter a voice authorization obtained during offline processing, and identify the environment and best practices to process these specific transactions. Now let's start off by talking about pre-authorizations. There are two parts to any retail transaction. The card must be approved and then captured to the existing batch of transactions to be settled at the end of the day. Sale transactions automatically include both parts, but pre-authorizations, however, only include the authorization or the approval for a transaction. You typically see pre-authorizations with service-based businesses. An example would be, you might have a base service price, but the finalized amount may vary because of additional services rendered, or additional products may be provided to the customer prior to completing your time with the customer. Pre-authorizations can also be seen with book and ship or mail order businesses. This is because shipping costs may vary, or additional warranties or possible service costs may be applied prior to completing the order. You tend to see a lot of pre-authorizations with rental businesses. Let's take the example of a bike rental business. You might have a customer agree to pay for all the damages or if the bike was lost or stolen. So what you'll want to do is pre-approve the card for such damages or loss, but if the bike comes back in good condition, you'll only complete the transaction for the hourly rate that you charge. Like a sale, there are only three fields required to process a pre-authorization transaction: the account number or credit card number, the expiration date, and the amount. All of the other information is optional, but it is highly recommended for accurate reporting and to ensure you get the best possible transaction processing rate with your processor. Once you process the pre-authorization, you'll want to receive an approved result with an approval code. Now that you've processed a pre-authorization, you'll need to complete the transaction to capture it to the open batch of transactions so that it can be processed completely. Now let's demonstrate processing completions. Processing a completion is necessary when you do any type of pre-authorized transaction, such as a pre-authorization or a voice authorization, which we'll get into next. Processing a completion will capture the approved transaction to the open batch of funds so that you can settle it at the end of the day and you receive your funds. PAYware Connect uses a secure method for processing completions so that you don't need to manually enter in the credit card information again. PAYware Connect simply queries the database for valid transactions to be completed. All that's required for you to do is select the transaction you wish to complete and click Search. It will automatically pull up all the information you previously entered with the authorized transaction. If there's any missing information, you want to enter it in at this time. Enter the finalized amount and select Submit. You're looking for a captured result. Sometimes you may not have internet access or a good connection to process a transaction through your point of sale, your terminal, or perhaps your mobile device. So in these situations, you may want to consider taking offline transactions so that you can continue taking business. Here's a couple things to note. Offline processing can be done one of two different ways. There's the non-preferred method, which is to just write down or imprint the credit card information, but still offer your goods and services without any authorization. Thus, you're hoping the card is valid and assuming all risk that the transaction may decline. Now, the preferred and less risky method is to contact your merchant service provider's authorization hotline to receive a voice authorization for the transaction. Now, yes, a voice authorization is time-consuming, and you will need to have a phone with a good signal, but verifying the customer has funds greatly reduces your risk for a declined transaction. Once you contact your MSP for the authorization, you'll still need to write down or imprint the card information along with the amount and the newly obtained authorization code, because you'll still need to enter the information in PAYware Connect and complete it for you to receive your funds. Now, you want to make sure that you keep the information as secure as possible. There's an additional option at the bottom of the voice authorization fields. If you originally intended for this transaction to be a sale, then you'll want to select Mark for Completion, which will automatically complete the transaction and capture it to the open batch of transactions. If you leave it unchecked, PAYware Connect will treat it like a pre-authorization, which you will need to manually process a completion to ensure you receive your funds for this transaction. Thanks for watching this short video on the PAYware Connect store portal. For additional product and support information, visit us online at support.verifone.com. You can register for our online knowledge base, view product documentation, and have access to additional training links and videos. For additional account and POS support, make sure you give a call into your merchant services provider. For PAYware Connect technical support issues, give us a call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 1-800-839-0947. Make sure that you have your 9 to 14-digit PAYware Connect merchant code available. From the Verifone Training Academy, thanks for watching.